Good morning, students. Today we'll continue with the essay of Studies by Francis Bacon. In my last lecture, I told you that Bacon states three important uses of studies, that is, in delight, in ornament, and in ability. He says that studies give you joy when you are alone. In ornament, he says that it embellishes your language, it develops your personality, and in ability, he says that it helps you to take or to make right decisions. Apart from that, Bacon also says that if we spend too much time in studies, the person will be considered as lazy, and if we rely wholeheartedly on their rules, on the bookish rules, then it will be considered as an eccentric person. So he says that there must be balance between studies and between your experience. He says even experience is also important, and a man must learn from his experience, and together with experience and with your studies, a man could become a better human being, and it helps him to take right decisions in life. He also says that there are three types of men: those who condemn studies are known as cunning, those simple men who admire them but they don't use it, and there are then wise men who really make effective use of studies. Now, today we'll continue from the line read not to contradict and confute. So, Bacon says that we must not read in order to find argumentation or in order to prove other wrong. Not to believe and take for granted means that we must not believe what is written in our book. We must consider, as Bacon had earlier told us, that experience is also important. And again, he says not to find talk and discourse. To find talk and discourse means to find argument, okay, but to weigh and consider. We must study. Weigh and consider means to compare. We must study so that we could find, or so that it could provide us knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. Weigh and consider means तुलना करना, कंपेयर करना। और क्या कंपेयर करना? चीज़ों के बारे में हमें ये पता चल पाए कि क्या सही है, क्या गलत है। ओके, अ स्टडीज योर नॉलेज विल प्रोवाइड यू विद विजडम, एंड फ्रॉम दैट you can choose the right path. So at there, I think studies help you to choose the right path, to choose what is good and what is bad, and then act according to your knowledge. Okay, so Bacon says that read not to contradict and confute. हमें इसलिए नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए जिससे कि हम दूसरों को गलत सिद्ध कर सकें, ना ही इसलिए पढ़ना चाहिए जिससे कि हम किताब में जो भी लिखा हुआ है उसी को मान के उसी को फॉलो करना स्टार्ट कर दें, और ना ही आर्ग्यूमेंट, लोगों को आर्ग्यूमेंट में हराने के लिए हम पढ़ाई करें, बल्कि इसलिए पढ़ाई करें जिससे कि हमें ये पता चल पाए कि क्या सही है और क्या गलत है. Now, these lines are important. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. That is, some books are to be read only in parts, others to be read but not curiously, and some few to be read wholly and with diligence and attention. Now, in these lines, Bacon says that it is not necessary to read each and every book. You must understand the importance, you must understand the relevance of books. When it comes to books, you must know that which book is important, which book needs to be read wholeheartedly, and which book you must avoid. He says that there are many books and some books are to be tasted means it is not necessary that you must read the book wholeheartedly or you must read it carefully. He says that it is okay if you read some book in parts. अगर कुछ कुछ भागों में पढ़ लोगे उस बुक को तो भी काफ़ी होगा. Others to be swallowed. Swallowed बोलते हैं निगलने को. Okay, he says कि कुछ बुक्स होती हैं जिन्हें आप अगर जल्दी जल्दी भी पढ़ो, अगर ध्यान से नहीं पढ़ें, एक तरह से if we read these books not carefully, then it would be okay. अगर जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ेंगे, attentively नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो भी काम चल जाएगा. But there are some books which need to be chewed and digested. By this phrase, Bacon means that only some books are important and you must read them wholeheartedly. You must read them with attention. You must laboriously read these books because they are crux of everything. They could provide you knowledge, they could teach you a lot. So Bacon says that it depends on you which book is important for you. You have to choose it and you have to read it wholeheartedly so that it would provide you with knowledge and it would give you proper direction to move. Okay. Again, he says that it would be okay if you read some books in parts, like he says, those books which are only meant to be tasted. He says that you could read them in parts. Now, other books which need to be swallowed, he says that there is also one option. He says that only those books, some few to be read wholly, swallowed and holy. Now here he says कि उन books को पूरा तो पढ़ो लेकिन बहुत अच्छे से मत पढ़ो. And he says that those books which need to be chewed and digested, those books need to be read with diligence and attention. Now diligence again is hard, you could say hard work, and attention means with carefulness. Okay. Now, some books also may be read by deputy and extracts made of them by others. Deputy's assistant. So, if you could say that some book, you can also ask summary of some books by any other person or by any assistant. If another person has read such some book, then you could ask summary of that book by the person, or otherwise you could also read extracts of the books, or you could read review of the books, you could read summary of the books. Okay, so it is not important to read the whole book, to read each and every single book. There are many ways that you can gain knowledge. You could ask other person, if he had read that book he could tell you the summary of it. You could read reviews of the book, and you can even, you could say, you can read excerpts of the books. But Bacon says that would be only in the less important arguments and the meaner sort of books. Okay, he had previously also said that those books which are important, they should be chewed and digested, they should be read with whole attention. सिर्फ ऐसी बुक्स जो कम इम्पॉर्टेंट है, उन बुक्स को हम उन बुक्स का हम रिव्यू पढ़ सकते हैं, उन बुक्स की समरी पढ़ सकते हैं, या किसी भी डेप्यूटी या किसी असिस्टेंट से उस बुक के बारे में पूछ सकते हैं. और ये वो बुक्स होनी चाहिए जो कि कम इम्पॉर्टेंट होती हैं, क्योंकि Bacon says that, and the meaner sort of books, else distilled books are like common distilled waters, flashy things. Now he compares these books, distilled books, with distilled water. He says distilled water is devoid of some minerals and it is tasteless. It is, he says, it is flashy, or it is, you could say, he compares it and says that it is tasteless. क्योंकि डिस्टिल्ड बुक्स में जो भी मेन चीज़ें होती है, एक तरह से क्रक्स होता है, एक तरह से समरी होती है. सो ही सेज दैट इस वे में उन्हीं बुक्स को पढ़ना चाहिए जो कि कम इम्पॉर्टेंट होती हैं, क्योंकि जो ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट बुक्स होती हैं उन बुक्स को हमें बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ना चाहिए. Now again, this line, reading make a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. These lines have been asked in question papers multiple times. He says that reading make a man make a make it a full man. Now Bacon says that reading makes a full man. That is, you could say, through studies we get information and it adds to our knowledge. It develops our personality. Now conference a ready man. Conference is discussion. Now conference means conversation or discussion. Now if a man is capable of proving his points and is expert in conferring, then it helps him to be ready in any sort of debate. And writing an exact man. Now, perfect is one who writes. Bacon says that writing makes a man perfect. Now, if you're able to create magic through your words, then you will be remembered forever. Okay, it is through writing that these poets, that these authors are remembered today. And even Francis Bacon himself is remembered today for his excellence in writing prose. So he says that writing makes a man perfect, or Bacon considers that if a person is also in habit of writing, then he would be considered as a perfect. And therefore, if a man write little, he had need have a great memory. If he confer little, he had need have a present wit. And if he read little, he had need have much cunning to seem to know that he doth not. Now, these lines prove that Bacon's essay are known for pragmatic knowledge. Why? Because he is not here saying idealistic things that if man write little, then he must improve his habit. He's not saying that if he's not in habit of writing or teaching, then he must develop this habit. But Bacon says that if a man write little, ही नीड टू हैव अ ग्रेट मेमोरी. अगर किसी इंसान की अगर उससे लिखने की आदत नहीं है तो उसकी जो मेमोरी है वो शार्प होनी चाहिए. मेमोरी क्यों शार्प होनी चाहिए? जिससे कि उससे ध्यान रहे, इससे कि उसके दिमाग में सारी बातें रहे. If he confer little, he need to have a present wit. And if a man is not in habit of talking, if he is not in habit of discussion, if he is not doesn't participate in debates, then he must be quick witty, he must be witty enough to prove his points, to enter anywhere in any discussion. And if he read little, he need to have much cunning to seem to know that he does not. और अगर बेकन कह रहा है कि पढ़ने की ही आदत नहीं है तो उसे बहुत कनिंग होना चाहिए, जिससे कि सामने वाले को पता ना चल पाए कि ये पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है या ये कम पढ़ा लिखा है. सो हियर बेकन सेज दैट इफ यू हैव दीज डिफेक्ट्स, or if you are not interested in writing, if you are not interested in talking, or if you are not in habit of even reading, then you must be cunning, you must be clever enough so that other person doesn't recognize your defect. Okay, I think it's clear to you. That's all for today. In my next lecture, we'll complete this essay. That's all for today. Thank you.